In the borough of Danville, there are many things you will see, and one is outdoor cats roaming around neighborhoods. In August, we reported that the Danville Borough Police Department would be enforcing an ordinance regarding the feeding of feral cats that the Borough Council adopted early last year. Recently, Borough Council decided to take a closer look at the ordinance, as Council President Mark DeRoba says it was a little unclear.
Unfortunately, it was short-sighted on our part as council when we first adopted it. The ordinance didn't really state specifically how we would identify folks that are allowed to be feeding these cats.
DeRoba says after WNEP's and other outlets reporting, more people found out about it and it was brought back to the table. He says they had a number of people help the council write the new amendment. DeRoba says one of the new changes in the ordinance was using the term community cats instead of feral cats.
Community cat is more specific. Feral cat was a little too vague. Community cat encompasses any cat that doesn't have any identification or tags showing who the owner would be.
DeRoba says if an individual or organization wants to feed the cats, they'll have to come to Borough Hall and fill out an MOU, which is a Memorandum of Understanding. He says this will go over how they plan to feed the cats.
So each individual will have their own unique ways of feeding, and folks that would be approved on a list. That could range from identification badges to just their names, so our police can actually identify folks that are allowed to be feeding in those areas.
DeRoba says if people do not have permission or identification, the original ordinance without the new amendment still calls for a $600 fine that would be issued by the police department if you're caught. He says the ordinance was brought about in the first place due to the borough having issues with turkey vultures.
We identified that the vultures were eating some of the cat food that people were using to feed these community or feral cats. So that's where the ordinance came about. We have seen improvements in the vulture community once we started enforcing that in certain areas that there was a problem.
DeRoba says he is pleased that the council was able to come to what he calls an agreement with the community on this issue. Justin Gick, Newswatch 16, Montour County.